Trump cuts off U.S. trade talks with Canada.
Deploying the National Public Service Portal to become single, one-stop shop.
Modern parents, raising Generation Alpha kids.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. Now let's get started. The U.S. President Donald Trump abruptly cut off trade negotiations with Canada on Friday due to the country's imposition of digital services taxes on American tech companies.
In a post on Truth Social, the U.S. President also affirmed that within the next 7 days, he will notify Canada of the tariffs that the country will have to pay if it wants to trade with the U.S., and said that America's northern neighbor is very difficult to trade with. Washington has previously expressed dissatisfaction with Canada's imposition of a tax on digital services, requesting negotiations to resolve this controversial issue last year. Although this type of tax is not new, U.S. service providers will only have to pay billions of dollars in taxes to the Canadian side before June 30th.
Ukraine's commander-in-chief stated on Friday that Russia had just amassed 110,000 troops near the Postbrook area as part of its efforts to capture this strategic city in eastern Ukraine.
Commander-in-Chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Alexander Syrsky said the area around Pokrovsk was the hottest spot along the 1.200 kilometers front line which runs across the east. Russian forces have been trying to capture Pokrovsk for almost a year, staging one grinding offensive after another. But despite having a clear advantage in terms of the number of troops and weapons available, Moscow has failed to take over the city. Pokrovsk is a strategic target for Moscow. Although not a major city, Pokrovsk sits on a key supply road and railroad that connect it with other military hubs in the area. It forms the backbone of Ukrainian defenses in the part of Donetsk region that are still under Kyiv's control.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Thị Dũng had to sign an official dispatch number 96 on behalf of the Prime Minister, focusing on upgrading and finalizing information systems to ensure the uninterrupted operations during the administrative reorganization and implementation of the two-tier local government model.
One notable point in the dispatch is the trial implementation of the two-level local government model on the National Public Service Portal. Furthermore, the National Public Service Portal will become a centralized, single, digital one-stop shop point. This is to serve as a basis for smooth, efficient, and uninterrupted operation from July 1st. Additionally, tasks that need to be completed by a specific deadline include announcing the list of administrative procedures applicable in provinces and cities, and updating and publishing them on the National Database on Administrative Procedures, publicly disclosing office addresses and lists of administrative procedures that are received and processed at provincial-level public administration service centers, commune-level public administration service centers, and support points for citizens to access public services.
Upcoming are some updated news.
According to PwC Vietnam's June 2025 report, new tariffs from the United States, implemented since April, are putting significant pressure on Vietnam's exports. Tariffs of up to 46% are being applied to many key products, including textiles, footwear, wood, seafood, and agricultural products. 86% of businesses express concern about the negative impact, with increased costs being the most worrisome issue. To cope, nearly half of businesses are diversifying their supply sources and markets, accelerating automation, restructuring supply chains, and renegotiating with partners. PwC states that these are necessary steps to help businesses maintain competitiveness and achieve sustainable development in a volatile global landscape.
With its aim to become the central hub of the North Central Coast region, Nghệ An is attracting thousands of businesses, particularly to industrial parks like VSIP, Hoa, and Hoang Mai Ai. This creates a demand for approximately 50,000 workers annually. However, many businesses, such as Everwin Precision, face challenges in recruiting highly skilled engineers. The reality shows that young workers today need not only professional expertise but also digital skills, foreign language proficiency, and creative thinking. To meet these requirements, the Nghệ An Employment Service Center is actively organizing job fairs, collaborating with training institutions to equip workers with soft skills, and connecting them with businesses. The education sector is also shifting towards flexible vocational training programs that meet the demands of the digital age market.
The prestigious travel magazine Travel Plus Leisure has just announced the list of the best destinations in 2025, of which Phu Quoc in southern Vietnam ranked third in a list of world's 10 best islands in the Asia-Pacific region. After Bali, Indonesia, and Koh Samui, Thailand. Travel Plus Leisure magazine emphasized that Phu Quoc is famous for its beautiful beaches such as Bai Kem, Bai Sao with creamy white sand, mild nature and calm sea, clear water. In addition to the natural landscape, Phu Quoc is also considered one of the most attractive destinations in Vietnam due to its many iconic entertainment ecosystems, interesting cultural, historical experiences, and diverse resort options from budget to super luxury.
Generation Alpha, those born between 2010 and 2020, is considered the first generation to grow up entirely in the digital age. From an early age, they have been exposed to smartphones, tablets, social media, and artificial intelligence or AI. Meanwhile, many of their parents grew up in a time with less technology and lower levels of digital connectivity. So, what skills do Gen Alpha parents need to turn to this gap into an opportunity for connection? More in the story.
For General Alpha, technology is no longer a tool but has become a living environment. From a young age, they have been exposed to smartphones and modern technology applications. Meanwhile, many parents are still learning how to adapt to the rapid changes in the world.
I often use my phone to watch good movies, fun and useful clips, and I also use my computer to find study materials, chat with GPT, and learn computer science. Sometimes I watch movies and study on the computer with my parents. Children are exposed to technology very quickly through studying, playing, and entertainment. Because of such rapid exposure, there is often a gap between parents and children. And if we do not learn, it is very difficult to understand our children.
Therefore, the Gen Alpha generation has a very different way of thinking and approaching life than their parents. Lacking understanding and sharing, parents can easily become disconnected in their own families.
Honestly, there are definite differences between my generation and my child's. There will be times when it feels like a gap due to our differing language, ways of speaking, and thought processes across generations. But I'm trying to listen more to understand and reconnect with my child.
In today's open, multi-dimensional, and fast-paced world, Gen Alpha is growing up in a completely different ecosystem. However, many parents still stick to traditional parenting methods, being authoritarian, controlling, and not listening much. This is precisely what creates a gap that isn't easy to bridge without a change from the adults. The reality shows that a gap isn't always a barrier. It can be an opportunity if parents know how to step back, learn from their children, and learn alongside them. In doing so, parents not only accompany their children but also become their close friends, helping them mature healthily in the digital world.
Parents need to always learn about digital technology, children's psychology, talk to their children regularly, and not let their children be exposed to technology too much.
Gen Alpha is living in a world of constant change. Being a parent in this era certainly presents challenges. However, with sharing, listening, and companionship, the gap will no longer be a barrier but an opportunity for the whole family to grow together in love and understanding.
the last story to end it our program today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.